Plainfield Shorewood Area Chamber of Commerce, I would like to welcome you to our annual State of the Village. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Tasha Marsalia. I'm the Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce. Thank you to Warehouse 109 and Tortilla Flats for the amazing venue, the amazing food. If we could give them a round of applause. I do encourage you after the event, the food will still be out, the bar will still be open, so please do feel free to stick around. Over the past 10 years that I've been with the Chamber, we've had many opportunities to host events such as this. These events are not possible without the support from our members who give their time and talent to our organization. I'd like to take a moment and thank and introduce the Chamber Board of Directors to those of the ones that are actually here today, so if you don't mind just waiting, standing up. First, Lisa Bahonet with the CWA Family YMCA. Jim Sir with Joliet Junior College. Brian Menace, Old Second National Bank. Eric Marsalia, Northern Insurance and National Stopwatch. Chad Holstead, Business Knowledge Systems. Christina Zamaron, Tortilla Flats, who is also our secretary. Anna Hollinger with BMO Bank, our treasurer. Brian Sloan with T.R. Miller Heating and Cooling, our vice chair. And Tracy Lane with the Plainfield Public Library, our chairwoman of the board. I just want to thank our board for your dedication and your support that you do put into this organization. PAC is here to support all businesses within our community. We continue to be a voice of issues that are affecting businesses as well as bring community events to our towns. Again, all of these events that are hosted by our organization is done by the support of just under 700 businesses and organizations that are a part of us. I'd like to bring up two of our chamber members that are our chamber luncheon sponsors for the year of 2023. I'd like to bring up Callie Larson with Callie Larson Real Estate and Joe Lagilia with Oldley Community Mortgage.
Mr. Olson, Warehouse 109, for your generosity and hospitality. Thank you very much. As Tasha said, my name is Callie Larson. I'm a broker owner and designated managing broker of a real estate office here in downtown Plainfield. Joe and I have the brief opportunity at each luncheon this year to share a bit about ourselves. Typically, though, we use the opportunity to praise the partnerships amongst our chamber members. In January, I shared a brief message in Remaining Guardians of Our Community. Bloom where you are planted is a message I'd like to share with you today. It's a cliche phrase that, without a doubt, can be applied to each of us. In Jeremiah 29, the word instructs, build houses, settle down, and seek peace and prosperity in the city to which I have carried you. Pray for it, because if it prospers, you too will prosper. Each of you can receive today, on your way in or on your way out, a very small gesture. A simple packet of seeds is a reminder that we all should bloom where we are planted. Sow prayer for your community, and please, as always, remember to reap the prosperity that comes with it. Without a doubt, there's a large extended gratitude owed to a pillar in this amazing community, the Plainfield Shorewood Area Chamber of Commerce. The people you see here today, those members, I truly encourage you to extend a hand of fellowship, connect personally and professionally with this group of very special business owners and leaders who continue to sow seeds of prosperity, and leaders who continue to sow seeds of prosperity and grow strong roots in our Plainfield community. As always, thank you to the Chamber for having the opportunity to be one of this year's luncheon sponsors. I'd like to introduce you now to my friend, Joe Lagilia.
Kelly said a lot of great words there, so just to be very brief, in addition to that, I'm one of the seeds that got planted here in Plainfield in 2015, and because of all of you, that seed was watered. Since 2015, Oakleaf Community Mortgage has had the opportunity to serve, create housing, and eliminate debt within households of over 3,000 families within this community because of all of you. What Callie shared is really near and dear to my heart, that we're here to lift each other up and to bring this community closer together. And so I want to encourage all of you to continue to have that frame of mind as we enter into this year and the years ahead of us, that we're here to water all the seeds, new and old, in order to make this community better. When you think of Oakleaf, we hope you think of this message. My name is Joe Gilia, and I'm a proud sponsor of the Plainfield Shorewood Area Chamber of Commerce. Thank you. And I'd like to say that I have the honor of introducing a friend of mine, a friend of ours, Ms. Tracy Lane from the Plainfield Public Library. Please give her a big round of applause.
including serving in the following political offices: Plainfield Library Board Trustee, Plainfield Township Supervisor, Will County Board Member, and on the Will County Board Measure. John has also served his community by leading the effort to relocate the War Monument to Settlers Park in 2013, providing pro bono legal assistance to Ready Set Ride, serving on the Edward Hospital Patient and Family Advisory Committee, First Committee Bank of Plainfield, Founder, Director, and Chair of Credit Committee, and serving as a board member for the Plainfield Historical Society. Currently, John is the principal of his own law firm located here in Plainfield. He's a father of 2 college-age children. John ran for mayor to better serve his hometown. Gone is the small farm town of yesterday, and today we stand at 45,000 strong with a diverse community. Mayor Argadelis' priorities have been to support small businesses, listen to their needs, and help them succeed. Industrial development has and continues to be a high priority to provide a diversified tax base, create jobs, and bring strong larger businesses to the village. The mayor, finally, and not among the least, the mayor's priorities with breaking with the past to be inclusive of all people in Plainfield, of everyone being treated equally, because together we are a stronger, more vibrant Plainfield. Plainfield has taken great strides towards accomplishing all of these goals and making what the mayor likes to call the best Plainfield. Without further ado, I am honored to introduce our guest speaker today, Mayor John Argadelis.
Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate that, and appreciate all of you being here. Got a script here today. I usually like to speak extemporaneously, but we got 13 pages of cloth, so I better keep to the script as best I can. Thank you to the Chamber. And we appreciate the Chamber annually doing this State of the Village event. It's great to see so many familiar faces here and many new faces and a full room. We were sold out, which is really awesome. That's great. I do want to also thank Warehouse 109, the Olson family. Beautiful venue here. We've been friends for a long time, and you always do a great job. We have Christina and Tortilla Flats with the food, which is remarkably great. I mean, it is really incredibly good looking food and tasty. We appreciate everyone helping to put this event on. I do have some dignitaries to recognize, some people from different, this list, right? See, I look at Amy DeBoni because you also should know, I have a formal thank you for Amy later, but Amy is our community development director and community relations director, and she does so much to help organize these kind of events, and I appreciate that. But Mr. Ralph Schultz from the Forest Preserve is here. Ralph and I worked together years ago. Mayor Basta, did I see her come in? I know she was on the list.
Oh, there you are. Okay, I didn't see you come in. Mary Alexander Basta, Village of Bolingbrook Mayor. Melinda Metzger from PACE is here. We have other people from PACE as well. Glenn Wood from the school district. I don't know if Glenn's here. I didn't see him, but Glenn was supposed to be here, but good working relationship with Glenn. John Stratton, our fire chief, who's looking really good these days. You're looking slim and trim, sir. Bill Thoman from the Park District is here. Bill, I don't know if I saw Bill, but Carl Gilmore, the Plainfield Public Library president of the board. Michelle Smith from Friends of Charitable Giving. Chuck Willard from Plainfield Township was on the list. Meg Capel, our state senator. Ms. Capel and her staff are here. Lauren Stately Ferry, I don't know if I saw Lauren or not, but Doug Pryor, Will County CED is here. Our county executive, Jennifer Bertino Tarrant, who also has worked really well with us, and we appreciate that. Katie LeClaire, our YMCA, from the YMCA. Katie is in charge of all of that and does a great job. Callie Larson, Village of Plainfield trustee. Tom Ruane, also here, Village of Plainfield trustee. Brian Wojcicki, another trustee, is here. I know trustee Patty Kalkanis was supposed to be here. Not sure if she's here, but those are the list of people that are here. And if I missed somebody, I apologize for that. I have a list. I hope everyone here. Heath Wright's here from the Park District, but you know, I would probably read all your names off because so many people here are very important in our community and contribute so much. But time being what it is, we're trying to keep it within our time constraints. So we do have, I'm supposed to look over here, okay. All right, I would like to also recognize our village board. There's myself as mayor, and we have trustees Harry Benton, Kevin Calkins, Patty Kalkanis, Callie Larson, Tom Ruane, and Brian Wojcicki. And you can see the team on the board behind me there. I'd like to thank the Plan Commission and Historic Preservation Commission for all the work they do in support of the village. And I want to thank our staff. You know, well, I'll talk more about this later as well, but we have a great staff. And we can't name everybody, but our village administrator, Josh Blakemore, he's doing a great job. Assistant village administrator and director of management services, Tracy Pleckham, has been with the village a long time and also does a great job. Our village clerk and someone that I rely quite a bit on for all her expertise and help, Michelle Gibbous. Our Human Resources Director, Mary Harris, is here. Community Relations Director, Amy DeBoni, who I mentioned. Our IT Department Director, James Castrandas and Rob Mayer here. Economic Development Director, Jake Melrose. Our Police Chief, Robert Miller. Our Prosecutor, Joan Myers. And our Police Commanders, Anthony Novak and Zach Zierman. John Prue from our Planning Department, Lonnie Spires, I don't know if I saw Lonnie, but Lonnie's the head of our Building Department, and our Public Works Director, Scott Threewitt. All are here, and they're a great team to work with who do a great job in their respective fields. So, without further ado, let's start the program here. And it's been another year of great accomplishments in Plainfield, and we have a lot to celebrate. Not many communities can say that they welcomed the Vice President of the United States to their town, hosted the Great Race, which is a cross-country antique car race, and approved over 5 million square feet of industrial space in the last year. My hat goes off also to Michael Lambert with regard to the Great Race. The Historical Society and his team organized a great race, and I'm looking around the room and I know some people here who were volunteers in that event as well. It's a great, it was a great event, and it also speaks greatly about our community, that so many people contributed to that. We made the 5 o'clock news twice that week, once for the Vice President's visit and once for the Great Race, and that was pretty cool. It's good to have a lot of positive news on the nightly news, and that was part of our summer. You may have noticed a few names when I was introducing the staff. We are very, very fortunate to have hired our new police chief, Robert Miller. He's our new chief, and Scott Threewitt, who is our new director of public works. Chief Miller has over 30 years of experience in law enforcement and most recently served as Wheaton's deputy chief before joining us. He's also been a 20-year-plus resident of Plainfield, so he knows our community well. He's doing a great job. He's hit the ground running. And I will give a little anecdotal story. He's really, I think, I was here for the police awards a couple weeks ago, and I just noticed a great vibe in the room, that a lot of the policemen have really taken to Chief Miller. They've meshed really well in a short amount of time. One night I was doing a run with our local running club, and one of the young officers was on the street, and he said, "Hey, Mayor." And I said, "Oh, hi, officer, how you doing?" And it was shortly after Chief Miller was appointed, and I said, "What do you think of Chief Miller?" He goes, "You know, he lets us keep our beards." Okay, that's cool, you know, if that's what you like, but I think it's a testament to, he relates well to the younger officers, and I think that's a great testament to him. Scott Drewitt has worked in the Village of Plainfield since 2011. He's most recently been our Assistant Public Works Director, and prior to that he served in the Village's engineering department for 10 years as an engineer, and in the private sector for 10 years. Very experienced guy. It was very obvious. I know Josh, our village administrator, conducted the interviews, and we did the last few rounds of interviews, and it was really obvious that Scott was the right person for this job. His demeanor, his expertise, his professionalism really shine through. And most importantly, he's a fellow Illini, so Oskiwawa, wherever you're at, Scott. I don't know where you're at there. Anyhow, we really welcome both of them, and they've both been doing a great job stepping right in for two veterans who retired in the last year. So, economic development. It's going to be all happy news, but we don't want to avoid or shy away from something that a lot of people have asked questions about. And our Walmart is closing. You all know that news. And it leaves 225 square feet of retail opening on Route 59. In fact, Walmart has closed 2 other stores in Illinois in conjunction with this closing, and they have been downsizing across the nation, it appears. And while Walmart has been a great community partner, and we are sorry to lose them, and off script, but when they did their grand reopening last year, they gave a lot of charitable donations to a lot of organizations in Plainfield. So they've been a very valuable part of our community, and we appreciate the time we've had them here. But we're looking at this as an opportunity. You know, just like when some of our veteran staff members retired, we looked at it as an opportunity to do something new and better. And that's how we're going to look at this. And we've had a lot of interest already in that building. Now, the building is owned by Walmart, so they're a big corporation, and they're taking their time on getting through things. But let's dispel a few rumors. There was a rumor that it was going to be turned into a warehouse for Walmart. That's not happening. We heard rumors that it's going to turn into some low-income housing. That would require a zoning change. That would require them to come before the village board, which is not happening. And there are rumors out there that they left because their tax incentive ran out, but of course they didn't have a tax incentive, so that rumor is not true either. Their decisions were obviously based on internal factors for Walmart, not that. As far as the revenue produced from Walmart, in a positive news, all our other stores are getting a good bump out of that because people are going down the street and shopping somewhere else. It's close and convenient. So we're not losing that revenue at the village level. So in the meantime, we're working to ensure the site is secured and maintained, and we are planning for the future. Again, we're going to take advantage of this as a redevelopment opportunity, and while it would be nice to say the space will be filled shortly, as I said, Walmart moves at its pace, so we will work with them and try to make sure there's a great replacement retail opportunities there. New and expanding businesses. We have had a lot of exciting things happen in the last year. We have had a lot of new dining options continue to expand, or new ones that opened. We welcome Domino's Pizza, Milkshake and Cookies, Wingstop, Big Sammy's Italian Eatery, and Mike, you're here. Big Sammy's is expanding. There'll be another location on Route 30 opening soon, and we're really excited about that as well. We're also looking forward to the opening of a new Starbucks on South Route 59. And Clifton is a restaurant that's going to replace Giambatta's in town, and that's being done by the Next Whiskey Bar Group. New gastropub, Glory Days Bar, will replace Front Street Cantina, and that will be in the Front Street Cantina building there in town. And increasingly, as we know and as we experience, our downtown is a great destination. really, especially in the summertime, the whole town comes alive on the weekends and cruise nights, and our restaurants and bars are thriving. And some of our wonderful restaurant and bar owners are here today, which I see them here, and I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate all you guys do, because your businesses add so much to our community. I always look at it as Route 59 is sort of the corporate, national type of tenants, and when you get off of 59, you get into all of the boutique, family-owned restaurants that provide such great variety, and that we all like that. In addition to new businesses, a number of local businesses are chosen to expand or reinvest in their businesses. Workforce Brewing, right here in this building, continues to win awards for their beers and to reinvest in their business. Last year they added a new kitchen in collaboration with Happy Belly Chefs. Their food is really, really good, and I think it's a nice combination, beer to have food with that, but it works really well for everybody. The Farmhouse, it's a banquet facility as it keeps expanding. It's at Plainfield Naperville Road and 127th Street. They've added an atrium and observatory to their facility. And I kind of said that the facility is kind of over the top. They have an incredible Christmas light display for those of you who've driven on Naperville Road in the winter. It just looks like a winter wonderland. Plainfield Lanes, our bowling alley, is remodeling their building. I drive by it frequently, and the remodel is going apace, and they're doing a significant reinvestment and update in their facility. The Plainfield Inn is our local inn in its downtown Plainfield, and they've expanded. They remodeled the neighboring home and expanded their footprint in town as well. These expansions and reinvestments are just, again, more signs of Plainfield and why it's a great place for business and why people are choosing to invest millions and millions of dollars in Plainfield. I am getting a bit dry here. The Prairie Creek development is a development just south of the Meyer store on Route 59. It continues to progress with the opening of the new Rod Baker Ford dealership at the end of 2022. The new dealership is over 50,000 square feet, double the size of their previous location on Route 30. As many of you know, Rod Baker Ford has been in Plainfield now for 3 to maybe even 4 generations. It's been a standard in the community, and we're happy that they have chosen to remain here and to reinvest a lot in our community. The new 12,000 square foot Kremer Veterinary Hospital is being built right now. It's also on Route 59 in that same area. And the Seasons at Plainfield, a luxury apartment complex, is under construction in that same development, Prairie Creek. The Seasons includes 320 apartments, a clubhouse, pool, scenic river views, and 20 acres of open space with the DuPage River Trail running adjacent to the property. The property will provide $1 million in property taxes to the school district with a minimal impact on the district's enrollment. The demand for high-quality apartments in Plainfield continues to be extremely strong. Some of these developments have waiting lists, and it seems that they're swiped up very quickly. So certainly the marketplace wants this kind of development. We're going to talk a little bit more about residential development, which continues to be extremely strong in Plainfield. People are continually attracted to our quality of life in Plainfield, and our residential market thrives. Last year we said this happened, and it did again. In 2022, the village had its strongest year for residential construction in more than a decade. More people are choosing Plainfield for their homes and to raise their families. This community is a sought-after place to live in, and in spite of rising interest rates, over 400 new homes were permitted in 2022. Of course, our quality schools, library, park district, and so many other amenities are part of this attraction. 2 new subdivisions began building last year, Greenbrier and Pulte's Bronc Farm. Together, these subdivisions will bring almost 700 new homes to Plainfield. Bronc Farm is at the southwest corner of 127th Street and Van Dyke Road. It will feature 118 townhomes, 332 single-family homes on larger lots, and a clubhouse. Greenbrier is a 350-unit single-family detached home development west of Liberty Grove being developed by D.R. Horton. As a side note, for a farm kid like me, it's interesting to have known these farm families that these neighborhoods are being named after. I remember riding the school bus through most of Wheatland and North Plainfield Township, and I knew every farmstead and tree stump, I think, in the whole area, and now they're filled with homes, but in a nice nod to our history many of these neighborhoods are named after those old farm families like Bronk and Pilcher and those. 1630 is another luxury apartment development that was opened and completed this year. It has a 280-unit development. It's fully occupied. Again, it has a waiting list. The project boasts an 8,000 square foot clubhouse with a spacious kitchen, recreation area, fitness center, pool, and a private, quote, hotel offices for those who work from home. I'm told demand is so strong that there is a waiting list. It certainly would be nice to see more projects like this in Plainfield responding to what the public wants. Another housing need in the community is being filled by the new Oasis Senior Living Facility located on Presidential Avenue near the intersection of Wallen Drive and 143rd Street. And this project will provide an assisted living and memory care facility for seniors. We have a lot of senior facilities in Plainfield, and they seem to concentrate in these areas. I know also north on the Edward Hospital area, there are some discussions of things coming up there as well. So I think having a place for everybody, we talk about our schools for our children, but having a place for our seniors is important for our community as well. We're going to move on to a really exciting thing, our PACE facility and our partnership with PACE, which has been a great one over the years. Years ago, Plainfield was on a proposed train line, the Star Line. It was going to bring public transportation to Plainfield, and of course that never quite happened. But PACE has filled that role in our community, and so many people in our community are able to use PACE to get to work and get to where they need to go. A great contingent from PACE is here, and we appreciate you being here today. We celebrated the opening of their new maintenance facility and storage garage near the Plainfield Park and Ride on Depot Drive. The $52 million facility was funded by PACE using resources in the state's Rebuild Illinois Capital Program. This impressive facility is over 260,000 square feet and allows for the expansion of PACE's Bus on the Shoulder Express service and created space for the additional vehicles needed to operate and the popular service which takes commuters to downtown Chicago. The PACE team has shown themselves to be professional and responsible business partners with the village, and we thank them for being such good members of our community. Our great friends Northern Builders also completed the new Plainfield Emergency Management Agency building. The 15,000 square foot building provides our emergency responders with office and training room space, a radio room, and a garage big enough to house, indoors, all of PEMA's vehicles. It is a wonderful space for a dedicated group of 25 volunteers who together gave 3,500 hours of service to the village last year. We're very thankful for all their hard work. You see our PEMA group, our volunteers at parades like the Irish Parade, any weather events, they're out there, and they are volunteer people. They do this out of their love for the community, and they're wanting to assist in any way they can. The PEMA building is located near the PACE facility, so it's kind of all in that same area. And as I said, Northern Builders has been a great part of the development of that corridor for us. Finally, with regard to PEMA, for those of you in the know, their old building is an old, very old pole building type of thing, and I think if you look up on a sunny day, you can see the sunshine through a lot of parts of the roofs there. I think that's probably true, but so this facility is a huge upgrade for PEMA. Also in this development, MNS1 Logistics has built their building, and they started constructing their new headquarters at the southeast corner of Van Dyke and Depot Drive. They should be moving in sometime this spring. This is a thriving, family-owned business which is contributing to our economy. So while we see these big corporate names, I had the opportunity at the groundbreaking to meet a family, a husband, a wife, and their small children. And it's kind of wonderful to see these family businesses grow and thrive, and to grow and thrive here in Plainfield. This 60-acre site has developed all of these different uses, and there's only 2 to 3 acres left to be developed in this development. It's been a wonderful development, and everybody involved in it, the end users, the developers, and of course the hard work at the village level. We've worked together to create a great development there. Industrial development, something I talk about a lot. Josh and I have a list of things that we talk about, and number one on that list is our industrial development. It's been since I became mayor. when we look at the future and we look at how are we going to diversify our tax base, how are we going to pay for the upgrades and the improvements that are going to be needed down the road, we can either plan now and take advantage of a robust industrial marketplace, or miss this opportunity and then look at our homeowners 20 years from now and say, sorry, we have to increase your taxes even further because we missed the boat now. We're not missing the boat. We have approved the most non-residential development square footage in our history by approving the DHL Logistics Center, and Matt's here from DHL, and Seafried Business Park. The Seafried team is here as well. These projects total over 5 million square feet of industrial space. These projects will provide over $6 million in property taxes. Prior to this approval, our residential housing accounted for 88% of our tax base, with only 1% based on the industrial developments. With these projects approved, our industrial tax base has increased to 5.31%, which in itself doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a 500% increase in taxes to contribute to our schools. Industrial development isn't putting kids in the schools. They're not burdening our fire department or our libraries. They're adding tax dollars to take the burden off our homeowners, and still so we can provide the quality of life and quality services that people have come to Plainfield and expect in the future. With these projects, we are seeking to diversify and to stabilize our tax base. I'm very proud of this, as diversifying the tax base was one of my goals when I was elected. There are more industrial developments, opportunities to come, and many in the pipeline. We as a community will grasp these great opportunities to guarantee our future quality of life. We will have the means and the diversified tax base in order to improve and upgrade our infrastructure as those needs arise in the future. The Greenbelt. This is a project that is a byproduct of our industrial development. I'm very excited about this wonderful byproduct, which is happening only because of the industrial expansion. The Greenbelt will be a series of natural buffers dividing the industrial development from our homes. It will consist of native plantings, wildlife habitat, and a recreational path. It may even include a permanent festival venue, well equipped to serve our community. We are asking our industrial developers to pay for this through cash or land donations and to maintain it through a property owners association. Hopefully, we can also provide some detention for the industrial development, which can be placed within the green belt, which will help both the development and provide more wildlife habitat. Our industrial developers have been so supportive of this concept, and we thank you profusely because you're the ones who are making this a reality. The green belt will be a legacy to our future. Future generations will be able to enjoy these native plantings and this green space, which will always be here. We're pleased to have our local landscape architects, Upland Design, Heath Wright is here. They are very involved in designing the Greenbelt, and the Conservation Foundation out of Naperville, which many of you are familiar with. They have been guiding us in this development as well. Okay, this is the big surprise that I was promised I could say. It's something that we've been working on for quite a while. I was told to hold on to this until today, but I'm very excited to announce that the Hawk Auto Group has filed an application to rezone a site on Route 59 to locate potentially up to 4 new dealerships here in Plainfield, car dealerships. We look forward to seeing this project move through the process. This will represent the first new car dealership in Plainfield in my lifetime. Car dealerships are so valuable to us because they are a clean, sales tax producing use. They produce quality jobs, contribute to our community. Our current 2 car dealers, Webb Chevy and Rod Baker, have been very strong supporters and charitable givers throughout our community, and they continue to do so. So these car dealerships also provide great jobs, from salespersons to mechanics jobs. It's great to have a car dealers in your community, and we're really excited that the first new car dealership in, as long as I can remember, is coming, and we're excited to announce that today. We welcome all the new businesses and all our new residents, and I encourage everyone to continue supporting our local business community. I could take a break here, so we do have a video that has been produced, and I'll take a break and we can enjoy the video. Thank you. guys did a great job on that video. It makes Plainfield look like such a great place to live. Thank you. I will say, you know, when you look at these things, and, you know, these events tend to be sort of sounds like we're kind of full of ourselves, we're the best town and everything. We have a great town, and we're blessed to live at a time in Plainfield's history when so many exciting things are going on. And I think we need to view it that way. I grew up here, it was a small little farm town for the first 150 years of its life, and now we see all these exciting opportunities. Capital projects is the next topic. And again, with our staff's professional guidance, we have outlined and invested heavily in capital projects in the community. And the upcoming budget reflects our commitment with approximately $22 million proposed for transportation projects, roadway, bridge, traffic signals, paths, etc. In fact, some of these projects are from our new transportation and mobility plan, which is nearly complete. A key component of the updated transportation plan is the multimodal considerations, as mobility by means other than conventional cars and trucks is a priority for the village. Over the course of the public involvement activities for the plan, the village received almost 3,500 visits to the transportation and mobility plan website, over 500 idea map comments, and close to 1,000 survey responses. I like the name that staff came up with here to call it the Transportation and Mobility Plan. We're planning for electric vehicles, we're planning bicycle paths. It's for all types of mobility, and I think it's so forward-thinking. I know one of the things I said to Scott when Scott Threewitt became our Public Works Director, I said, Scott, 20 years from now, we want people to say, wow, did they do a good job planning ahead, not why didn't they plan ahead? And Scott's certainly been the person leading the team at the Public Works Department. 143rd Street, a big project. It's a project that's been in the works for a long, long time, and it is coming to fruition right now, this year. The eastern extension, as you will note from the map, is going to connect the current Route 126, where the ComEd high lines go through, to Route 59 to connect up with 143rd Street. The purpose of this is to have all of that heavy traffic bypass the downtown and travel through Plainfield on this northern road. Much of the traffic we know on 126 is pass-through traffic, so this will help our downtown and kind of focus this traffic in one area. We hope also that the byproduct of this will be relieving traffic concerns on Route 59 as well, because this traffic will want to travel further west to go maybe south on Ridge Road or north to get to 80 and other roads. The village continues to move forward with land acquisition for the extension of 143rd Street to the east. The final plans have been completed and submitted to IDOT. The project is currently scheduled to be out to bid later this year, with construction in 2024 into 2025. This project is primarily being funded through grants, with a total of $47.5 million in federal grants secured, in addition to state funding contributions. The eastern leg is a bit expensive because we have to cross the DuPage River, a creek, and we have some other challenges there, and that's why that cost is pretty high up there. The western extension, so the existing 143rd Street will be extended to the west to connect with Ridge Road. Construction is expected to begin this summer on the west extension of 143rd Street, which runs west of Steiner Road to west of Ridge Road. The project will include approximately 5,500 feet of new roadway, a traffic signal at Ridge Road, and the extension of the village's water main to service new industry and increase the available fire flow in the area. We hope that construction will be completed by 2025, 2026, and the heavy traffic on Route 126 through our downtown will be shifted north, thus providing new housing and retail opportunities in the Old Town portion of Plainfield. As Main Street returns to being a community street, we see future retail and housing opportunities there to bolster the densities in our downtown and help support our small businesses. Our duties to our residents with regard to this major project are to not only provide for this traffic relief, but to minimize the negative impacts to those in its path. Whenever you have these large projects, and it's a great project for our community as a whole, but the people in the immediate path, it is a negative thing. Their way of life changes. Their backyard now has a highway in it. What can we do about that, and what should we do about that? We need to do everything we can. We have a heightened responsibility to minimize the negative impacts that this road's going to have on the immediate area. We need to work to provide full and safe traffic signals on state routes and work as hard as we can to complete these health and safety measures in conjunction with the building of this road. Certainly, the industrial development on the west extension is attracted and dependent on the completion of this roadway, as some of the gentlemen here today would tell us, and it is amongst our highest priorities. I'd like to talk about our old town, is what it's being called, but we're talking about the original old portion of the village. There has been a major project on sewer and water and redoing a lot of the streets. That has been a multi-year project, and phase 1 construction is continuing east of Route 59. It's phase 1 utility improvements consisting of a new water main and storm sewer along Lockport Street and Eastern Avenue is scheduled to be completed by early this summer. The project includes the replacement of lead water services to homes and the extension of water mains under the railroad tracks to facilitate future development west of the area. A $553,000 loan was received from the IEPA to assist with the lead water service replacements. Phase 2 construction, following the completion of this work along Lockport Street and Eastern Avenue, the next phase will begin this summer along Bartlett, Center, Amboy, and Evans. The scope of the work will be similar to the phase 1 work, with a $410,000 loan secured through the IEPA for lead water service replacement in the phase 2 work. CN Railroad, which is a big part of our community since they travel through our town every day. As part of the work in the Old Town area, the village has applied for grant funding to improve the railroad pedestrian crossings. The village received over $1 million in grant funding to improve the pedestrian crossings on Center, Eastern, and Lockport Streets. The importance of Old Town. When we refer to the Old Town area, we of course mean Lockport Street and the old village residences. That was all there was to Plainfield for the first 150 years of our existence. This is what sets us apart from many towns. We have a historic core that is attractive to people and adds so much to the charm and ambiance of our village. We have the ability to close Lockport Street from time to time and just throw a party. We are very blessed by our history and the actual layout of our village. I know I was in another town one time that has a state highway going through the center of town, and they said, you know, we can't close our streets to have festivals, and then no one comes and sees our businesses because they can't get to us. We're blessed that we have the setup to do that in Plainfield, and that's the importance of the Old Town. It's a magnet that draws us all to its core. From the newest neighborhoods, we gather as a community in the Old Town for cruise nights and all the different events that go on. Street Improvement Program. The village remains committed to maintaining the roadway network through the Street Improvement Program, which includes roadway resurfacing and concrete repairs to sidewalks and curbs throughout the entire village. Last year, the village spent $4.5 million resurfacing approximately 39 lane miles throughout the village, including the Heritage Oak, Canterbury Woods, Ponds, River Ridge, Water's Edge, and Reserve subdivisions. We recently had the condition of the roadways evaluated to maintain the village's current roadway standards. We are increasing our investment in resurfacing to $5 million this year. The importance of being proactive will save millions of dollars in the future. Things don't get cheaper. Maintenance today will save a lot of money to our future taxpayers and our future residents. And if we do not do what we need to do now, it'll be a grave abrogation of our duties to future generations. The 2023 Street Improvement Program will be similar in scope to last year's program. The work is expected to begin this spring and finish before school begins in the fall. The subdivisions included for resurfacing include Riviera Estates, Golden Meadows, Pheasant Chase, Quail Run, Spring Hill Estates, Arbor Creek, and a few others. We'd like to talk about our riverfront, which is very important. The completion of the North Riverfront Trail Extension and Council Ring is expected this spring. This project provides an extension of the DuPage River Trail under Lockport Street and further north between the ComEd overhead transmission lines and the river. Also included in the project is a council ring, scenic river overlook, and a pollinator garden. Over $300,000 is being provided in grant funding for this project through the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity and ComEd. I'm also thrilled to share that the village was recently awarded a $284,500 open space lands acquisition and development grant for the improvements of the riverfront. This project is part of the village's riverfront master plan, which was adopted in 2021. It will include the construction of pergolas with seating, trail connections, and interpretive signage. These new features will be located just south of Lockport Street on the west side of the DuPage River. Trail users will now have a place to rest and enjoy the river while using the trail system. We expect this construction to begin in 2024. And again, I would like to thank our Community Relations Director, Amy DeBoni. She spearheads all of these projects, works very hard on the grant funding, and it's so important to seek these grants. There's lots of them available out there. I'm looking at Carlo. Park District got a great grant, an OSLAD grant as well, so congratulations to you. But by getting these grants, this money, state money, it alleviates this burden on our residents. We don't have to pay for all of this ourselves. We have help through state funding to do this. And the tireless work of so many on our staff to get these grants, to seek them out, to do the applications, which is quite a process, and to achieve them. It's providing great amenities to our citizens, and we'll use that word about quality of life again, because it's, when we're not working, we all want to have fun and enjoy our community. Our comprehensive plan, we'd like to take the opportunity to remind everyone to participate in the village's comprehensive planning process. A full redo of our comprehensive plan has not occurred since 2002. This will be a full redoing of our comprehensive plan because so much has changed. The economic crash of 2008, the housing market changes, the retail market changes, e-commerce, so much has changed, and we need to look at our land uses and see what makes the most sense in today's economy. We have hired an outside firm, Houseel Levine. That's our consultant, and they've been working, completing stakeholder meetings, talking with the village board, the plan commission, property owners, local businesses, and developers to understand the existing villages, conditions in the village. So at your place settings, we have some flyers. So for all of you who want to participate, please do so. We encourage your input. This is a community, and I stress this all the time. There may be elected officials, there may be staff members, but we are all part of this community, and we are all stakeholders, and we all have a say, and all of our voices should be heard. So we encourage you to take an opportunity to have your input into what you think the comprehensive plan should look like going forward. We will have a workshop on Thursday, April 27th at 7 p.m. at our village hall. Quality of life, I finally got to that topic. I talk about it all the time, but why are we here? We want to live in a community with a great quality of life, and all the things we talk about, economic development and roadways, are part of that equation. The importance of our quality of life. When we're not working, we want to have fun. We want to enjoy ourselves. We want to do good things. We want to be part of volunteer organizations and festivals and all sorts of stuff. It's hugely important in Plainfield. And the village will continue to support all our residents and organizations' events. One of the things I say sometimes, my first inclination is to always say yes. You know, it doesn't work with your kids all the time. You need to say no sometimes. But when people come to the village and they say, hey, I want to do this, or hey, what about this, or let's do this, my first thought is, yeah, let's do it. How can we help you? How can we support you? Now, of course, there's always details and logistics that we have to work through. But let's say yes. Let's say yes as much as we can to anybody who wants to contribute to our community, whether it's investment or volunteers or festivals or other events that increase our quality of life. Let's say yes and see how we can make it work. I'd like to thank a lot of the people and the organizations who do work so hard, because there is so much going on in our community. I can't name them all. There's so many, you know, the Chamber being one of them that does so much. The Irish Parade we just had, Trustee Ruane is a big part of that, and the VPA, the Village Preservation Association, great event, going on 20 years next year, I think. The great race we talked about was that antique car race that came through town. The Historical Society organized that. It was about the most well-organized event I think we've ever had. I think our police department would agree with that. National Night Out, it's something our police department organizes, and that's a very fun night for charitable purposes. Our cruise nights will start soon, and that's become such a fun event. You know, what do you do on a Tuesday night? Well, you go uptown and you go to cruise nights and you grab a bite to eat, and maybe there's a beer or a cocktail involved. I don't know, but every year our American Legion does one of my favorite ceremonies. They do a wonderful ceremony for Memorial Day, and for those of you who have not been able to get there, I would urge you to go there. It's a very dignified event. Our local high school bands will come and they'll play patriotic music, and it's an event honoring our veterans every year. That's sponsored by the American Legion. We have so many organizations, and I cannot name them all. But I just throw out some of them out there. I see Donna from Allen Forest. It's a veteran support group. All veterans of all eras is their slogan. DNA Lifestyle, our running store, not only sells shoes, but they sponsor marathoners. They sponsored the 1 mile run that preceded our Irish parade. Moose Club, Lions Club, Kiwanis Clubs. We have a diving shop, archery, axe throwing, river tubing, electric hockey, which I'm still not quite sure what it is, but I've been chatting with them quite a bit. And even we have cross-country when the weather permits, and we thank Edward Elmhurst for providing the funds to provide that. Plainfield Pride had its first family-friendly festival in town in 2022 and has opened a youth center to support kids in need. I do try to attend as many events as I can, and being a father with 2 kids away at school and a single man, I'm able to do that. And I find it very rewarding because every group and every group of citizens and every organization has their little niche in town. And together it provides so much. You know, I think of, you know, I went to the Moose Club for a fish fry the other night, and DNA did the running thing, and the Kiwanis has an event coming up in April. And all these organizations together is what makes Plainfield such a great place to live and work. I'll throw out my thing I talked about. We were named one of the top 10 hipsterbias in America. It's a term from the New York Times. And it said that Plainfield just has all of these things going on. And I think it's pretty cool that we have been recognized on a national level. We also have a lot of live music venues in town, believe it or not. On any Friday or Saturday night, Mojo's, Workforce, Wine and Cheese, Black Dog Vinyl, Uptown Tab, and many others provide live entertainment. And it's a thing where I don't know, many times I don't feel like I have to go anywhere outside of Plainfield to find something fun to do or some good food and a good opportunity to enjoy my Friday night and not have to travel, you know, an hour to get somewhere. My last words to you is why Plainfield? You know, why is all this happening? Why are so many great things happening in this humble farm town of my youth? Well, I think, as in most things, it's a combination of good decisions and good luck. You know, I say that about sports teams, you know. I'm a Cubs fan, so pardon me, Sox fans out there, but 2016, the Cubs won the World Series, and a lot of my fellow Cubs fans were like, oh, we're so good, we're going to win another couple World Series and all this and that. It takes being a good team, and it takes a little bit of good luck, winning those extra inning games and ball kind of bouncing in your way. And we've had good fortune in Plainfield. There's a lot of good decisions and a lot of good planning and a lot of good luck. Recognizing the importance of our history and our historic core and the past work to create alfresco dining and an attractive streetscape on Lockport Street is a key to the core of our town and why it's so attractive to people. Providing for recreation in Settlers Park and continuing the expansion of bike and multi-use pathways, being at the right place at the right time. Some have described Plainfield as being currently in the sweet spot for development. The efforts of so many private entrepreneurs, and I want to emphasize that. The village doesn't make this happen. Many times we have people come to us and say, get us a Trader Joe's, or we want this or that, and we don't control the marketplace. But we can create the venue that's attractive to the marketplace, and we can grab on the economic opportunities as they present themselves. And the private entrepreneurs, and those of you in this room, thank you. You took a chance. You invested your money in this town, and that means a lot. Finally, with a wink and a nod, I have to tell you I do hear rumors of a community theater group taking shape in Plainfield. And I think that's going to be super cool that we can have some cultural events like that from a private organization of just a group of people getting together to start a community theater in Plainfield. Something that's on the minds of a lot of people, and I think it's a national issue, and certainly we saw it play out in the Chicago election, but public safety and strong efforts to prevent crime has been important to our residents and our political leadership throughout our history, and nothing has changed in that regard. Our police are strongly supported and ably led by a team of Chief Miller, and we have two of our commanders, Zeiderman and Novak here, ably led, a great leadership team. Fully 45% of our village budget is dedicated to supporting our police department. And our board is united in having a strong safety in Plainfield and crime prevention program. One of the things the police did recently, which I think was wonderful, the former Chief Konopek actually initiated it. It is engaging a mental health service to help the police sort out some of these things which really aren't crimes, but are really mental health issues. And I think it's very important that the police department presented that idea, and the board certainly wholeheartedly approved it. There is that discussion of, you know, the proper role. The problem we have many times is people don't know what to do on a mental health issue. What do you do? Well, call the police. And many times our police now can refer those mental health issues to mental health professionals and not put that in the criminal section, but put that in the mental health issue section. And that was a really great program that we started, and it's surprisingly inexpensive. It doesn't cost us a lot. Our police will soon be equipped with body cameras. It's an over $1 million expenditure, and since you are here today, our state senator Capel was able to secure $250,000 from Springfield, which we don't know of any other town that got that much money, but $250,000 will be going towards those body cameras, and thank you, Senator, for your help. Inclusivity has been and will continue to be just as important to me and the village going forward. I'm an honest person, and while Plainfield has always been a wonderful community and with many wonderful people throughout my lifetime, it has not always been welcoming to newcomers and diversity. We are 45,000 strong, and only by including everyone on an equal footing can we tap into the talents of all and truly be the best Plainfield. At the core of many of our acts and decisions is a strong staff. And our village staff is second to none, and I mean that very sincerely. By working with you all, we've gotten to know each other quite well, and we've become friends, I believe. I think you'd agree with me. And they are such professionals, and they have such great vision for our future. I'm always learning so much from you, and I really appreciate all the hard work you do, and I support you, and I respect your efforts every day. We have to lead. That's our role in the political realm. I ran for mayor with a vision. Being a part-time mayor, having 2 kids in graduate school, and running a full-time law practice sometimes stretches me quite thin. Some on our staff have teased me that I have many grand ideas and staff needs to rein me in sometimes. I'm looking at you, Black Cloud. But I ran for mayor with a grand vision of capitalizing on our attributes, tapping into the skills of all of our citizens and businesses in order to make the very best Plainfield. We aren't Naperville, Yorkville, Joliet. We are Plainfield. We have our own history, our vibe, and our own future. Let's work hard together to be the best version of who we are, the best Plainfield. Nothing happens overnight, and there is much to do. I play the long game, I'm fond of saying, and my eyes are on the near and long-term future. In life, you get to know who you are as you mature, not age, as you mature, you get to know who you are. And I know that one of my strengths has been my persistence. I have persistence. I persist in a lot of things, and there are always obstacles and hurdles. I'll outlast those obstacles and hurdles in my drive to make the best Plainfield, and you can count on it. I want to thank all of you for taking the time to join me today, each and every one of you, because each and every one of you contribute something very important to our community, and I truly appreciate it as a citizen of Plainfield. It's an exciting time in Plainfield. The bar will be open for a few hours, so I hope people network around and enjoy the evening and network and talk to people you know and maybe people you don't know, but I want you to have a wonderful evening. I truly thank you again for being here today and helping in your role, each of your roles in making the best Plainfield. Thank you so much.